What's up, moviegoers? It's your man BT, man. I went out to the movie theaters and I saw Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. Great movie, great movie, great movie, great movie, great movie. Thing about sequels is they're hard to top. You do an original movie and you do a great job in the original movie, then you come back, you try to do the sequel and it never does as well. So just imagine adding that pressure with the fact that the main character is no longer around. So now the challenge becomes, do we replace Chadwick Boseman or do we carry on without him and write him out of the story? So Marvel had a huge decision to make and they chose to move forward with the story. So unless you've been living under a rock, the original Black Panther came out February 2018. It was an amazing movie. It broke all these records at the box office. This movie had such a cult-like following. I just wondered, I was worried about it. I didn't know how it would fare. I didn't know what Marvel was going to do. Of course, there were rumors that it was going to just go forward without trying to replace the main character. But then, you know, you never know when you're talking about a movie. You never know what they're going to do. Since Marvel moved forward without replacing T'Challa, who is and will always be the king of Wakanda, the movie did stay true to the original script. So I really appreciate that. That put Letitia Wright in a really delicate position, because now the fate of Wakanda, the fate of the Black Panther franchise all rested upon our shoulders. It's like, oh man, what's gonna happen? You didn't know what was gonna happen, but that's what you got me here for. I'm gonna give you a little bit of insight the movie. I'm not gonna provide any spoilers because this is definitely a movie that you want to see in the movie theater and you don't want to be spoiled by it. I can't bring myself to spoil this movie. But before we move any further, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel right now. I really appreciate those who have already subscribed. So with that being said, let's get on with it. So the Wakandans are trying to move forward, but it seems like the entire world is trying to get their hands on the vibranium. You got the US, you got other countries, you got everybody shooting, killing, robbing, beating the hell out of each other because all of them want to get a hold of the vibranium. Because the vibranium is going to do what? It's going to give you superpowers, it's going to heal you, it can do all these wonderful things. So everybody's trying to get a hold of it. But speaking of superhuman strength, the Wakandans also have a superhuman adversary. So this new gang of underwater superhuman beings come on the scene and they're tough. I have to say, the Wakandans are bad, but I'll tell you like this, Namor and his tribe, they ain't nothing to mess with. I mean, they're the real deal. You're like, oh no, they're never gonna defeat them, you know. This is Wakanda, you know, they have to rise to the occasion. They have to do what they have to do. Now, this second movie has so many plot twists. It's just like, you're not gonna be able to outthink this movie. You're not gonna be 2 steps ahead. I can tell you right now, if you leave, you're gonna miss something. 2 hours and 41 minutes is a long time to be glued in his seats. And it's almost as if people in the theater were sitting around like, is this a good time? I gotta go pee. Is this good? And so I see people get up and I'm like, but at the same time, I'm sitting there like, man, this is a long movie. So I will say that this movie ran a tad bit longer. It was longer than the first one. I think the first one was like, what, 2 hours and 18 minutes, something like that. That's off the top of my head, 2 hours, 18 minutes. But this movie ran a lot longer, so plan accordingly. Now back to Namor. He is definitely a worthy adversary of the Wakandans. Played by Tenoch Huerta. He did a wonderful job. I think that was his first role. I don't remember seeing him in anything, so I think it was his first role. I think I read somewhere that it was his first role. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was his first role, and he did an amazing job. Just imagine your first role being Black Panther 2, the sequel. You're talking about, it's like Tupac. All eyes are on you, and definitely all eyes were on him. He did an amazing job. He was definitely a worthy adversary. I'm not gonna tell you what happened because we don't spoil here. We do not spoil. So all of the original cast came back either in real life or on the ancestral plane. If you watched the first one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you didn't watch the first one, go back and watch the first Black Panther. Don't go see Black Panther 2 unless you've seen Black Panther 1. It's just not right. You're gonna be lost. Whatever streaming service you use, watch Black Panther 1. If you haven't seen Black Panther 1, shame on you. Shame on you. This movie has so many surprises. One surprise in this movie just takes the drama up to like 10,000. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it's like the Wakandans are pissed. I'll tell you just like that, the Wakandans are pissed. And they coming for you. When the Wakandans coming for you, instead of you trying to attack them, you know it's on, okay? It is on. Now the graphic and animation sequences in this movie were amazing as well. Of course, Black Panther 1, it was amazing, it was new, it was fresh. So when you think of 2, you're like, okay, is it going to be the same? It is the same, but it's different at the same time because it's been taken up a level. They had to do something. They had to bring it. They really had to bring it for 2. I really think that Ryan brought it in 2. Rotten Tomatoes, it was mixed. I think it was like 3 out of 5. You know, a lot of people were throwing shade. Of course, we have a movie with the worst possible case scenario happens. The worst case scenario happens. The main character passes away. And for that to happen and for everything to literally keep moving forward, you have to be very, very creative. And I think this film was very, very creative. It's definitely worth the money and it's definitely worth the time. I would love to sit back and tell you everything that's gonna happen in this movie, but I'm not because it's a spoiler and it was so, trust me when I tell you, it would cheapen the experience. So if you haven't had an opportunity to go see Black Panther Wakanda Forever, go and check it out. If you like this video, click the like button. I invite you again to subscribe to my channel, BT Bonner. I wanna thank you for watching and I'll see you in the ticket line. Peace.